Friends, one of the biggest international stories right now is that the United States and Iran may be moving toward keeping the current situation calm for another 60 days. And honestly, this is not just another political headline. Because whenever the US and Iran appear together in global news, the entire world starts paying attention. Over the past few months, the atmosphere in the Middle East has been extremely tense. Military activity increased, statements became more aggressive, and at several points it felt like the situation could become dangerous at any moment. But now, according to reports, both sides seem interested in avoiding direct confrontation for the time being. And for America, this is important too. Because on one side, the US cannot ignore its security concerns. And on the other side, it also wants to avoid a large regional conflict. If the situation had gone out of control, the impact would not have stayed limited to the Middle East. Oil prices would react. Global markets would become unstable. Economic pressure would increase. And international stability could be affected as well. That is why diplomacy and negotiations are now getting more attention. Reports also suggest that back-channel talks are continuing. Meaning not everything happens publicly, but behind-the-scenes communication is still active. And honestly, that is how international politics usually works. Countries may give strong public statements, while negotiations quietly continue in the background. Now here is something important to understand. Relations between the United States and Iran have never been simple. The trust issues between both countries go back many years. There have been negotiations. There have also been periods of rising tension. Sometimes economic pressure increased. Sometimes military warnings dominated the headlines. But even then, neither side appears eager to move into a full direct war situation. And that may be one of the reasons why this extension is now being discussed. Many experts believe that both sides are trying to buy time. America is watching how much progress diplomacy can actually make. And Iran is also aware of the growing international pressure. But that does not mean all the problems are solved. The reality is that major differences still exist. The nuclear issue remains sensitive. Regional influence is still a major concern. And political trust remains very limited. So the current situation can best be described as a controlled calm. The tension has not disappeared. Both sides are simply trying to prevent it from getting worse right now. And honestly, that is what much of the world wants at the moment. Because globally, there is already enough uncertainty. Economic slowdown concerns exist. Conflicts are happening in different regions. And energy markets remain highly sensitive. In that kind of environment, a direct conflict between the US and Iran could make the global situation far more complicated. That is why markets around the world are seeing these reports as a cautiously positive sign. But experts are also warning people not to assume this means permanent peace. Because in international relations, situations can change very quickly. One political decision, one military incident, or one aggressive statement, and the entire atmosphere can become tense again. So for now, the main focus is simple. Keep the situation stable. And if the next 60 days pass peacefully, it could create a stronger foundation for future negotiations. Now the real question is whether diplomacy will eventually lead toward a long-term solution, or whether this will remain only a temporary pause. But for now, much of the world is watching this development with cautious optimism. Thank you.